Hey everybody, and welcome back to We the Revolution. It's Act 1, Day 6, and we have here the citizen Capet, previously known as King Louis the 16th of France. Okay, so now we know who citizen Capet, or whatever, is. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that completely wrong, so please forgive me if you know French or French history. We are pretty well. This is the wrong button. Burrell has been imprisoned. We are pretty well unliked by everyone. Where's that? That's in our notebook. The common folk, very low. The revolutionaries, pretty low. I wish we could get this to go away. Okay, it will go away one day from now. So, we should get a bump. It's because we did something that the jury did not approve of. So if we can just survive a day, then maybe... And we can survive a day by executing the old king. Because both people would like us if we did that. Both the common folk and the revolutionary. Our family wouldn't care for that very much. But you know what? Our family probably wouldn't like us if we died either. If we were killed by these common folk or the revolutionaries. So, I mean, I think it's pretty important that we go for the death penalty. Just to save our own bacon here. So here's the old king. He must be punished for conspiring against the people of France. Louis Capet. I'm sure you're not supposed to pronounce the T, so maybe it's Louis Capet. I don't know. He tried to defend his absolute authority by plotting against the National Constitution Assembly and the people of France. We all remember July of 1789. He gathered an army, 15 foreign regiments, and ordered them to surround Paris. Soldiers led by Baron de Buissenval were to capture deputies and shoot at citizens defending the reforms. And so they did. The Royal German Regiment drew first blood. After the plot failed, Louis, we'll just call him Louis from now on, tried to flee the country with his family and scheme with foreign monarchs abroad. Is that not the reason he took flight from the Tuileries one night in June of 1791 using someone else's passport? Was he not headed to Montmedy, where his loyal armies were stationed, ready to take him to Austria? If it were not for Postmaster Duret, this scheme could have ended tragically for us. Louis will never abandon the thought of suppressing the revolution by force. Before the events of 1792, he gave orders for the Swiss Guard stationed to be doubled. He conducted a public muster in front of horrified citizens. The people had no choice. They had to act before he attacked. Citizens of Paris who tried to stop the madness were shot at, even after he escaped to the National Assembly. Evidence and order issued by Marshal de Broglie to Baron de Buissenval. All right, let's do the questions. There's a lot now, and there's only 2 possible mistakes and 10 questions to reveal. So this could go very poorly for us. We have method, motive, accusation, witnesses. And then we don't know these 2 things, or they don't exist. Motive was to defend his authority. Yep. Method was gathering armed forces. Method was doubling the size of the guard. Postmaster Duret is a witness. Fake passport is a method. International plot is an accusation, maybe? Surrounding the city of Paris is also a method? Or is that an accusation? That's a method. Shooting civilians, that's definitely an accusation. Suppressing the revolution, is that an accusation? Or is that a motive? That's a motive? There you go. It's also an accusation. Alright, so we're doing pretty well right now. That's probably gonna jinx me for sure. An international plot. No, he's being accused of shooting people? Okay, yes, he's being accused of shooting people. An international plot is also an accusation. Okay. All questions unlocked. There you go. Alright, citizen. No longer king. Louis Capet. I hereby open your trial. Answer the questions when asked. Capet is the name of one of my ancestors. My name is Louis Auguste de Bourbon. That may have been your name before you raised your hand against the people you had sworn to defend. As a king, I've never done a thing against my people. I love them, and I still do. I'm sorry, king. Objection. There is evidence of Louis Capet's treason against the people of France. He should not be tried. He should be tried as a foreigner and enemy, not a citizen of the Republic. Okay, now we have this thing on the side. Questioning the defendant will stir the impatient audience. Once angered, the people may even start a riot. People are anxious. Alright. So this is saying we can't just ask questions forever, or we have to be, maybe we have to be particular about the questions, like the specific questions we ask. We want to push him towards execution, so we should ask those questions. But let's see what questions we have. Did the accused strive to abolish the National Constitution Assembly? What did the accused plan to do with the constituents' deputies? Who issued the order to fire at the citizens? Has the accused ever considered Paris and its citizens to be his enemies? Call on the witness, the postmaster. Who was responsible for the delivery of the passport? Who helped you suppress the revolution? Tell us one thing. When does a leader order a muster? Who gave the order to shoot the citizens gathered around the palace? Or was the accused planning to reclaim his authority in Paris? So we know what we have to do. Like, to save our own bacon. This is no longer about justice. This is about self-survival here. So, what did you plan to do with the deputies? Nothing. The assembly that I joined on 27th June 1789 granted immunity to its members, and I intended to respect that. And yet you ordered the soldiers to seize and imprison the deputies, and perhaps even execute them. Nonsense. There is no evidence of that. My enemies spread rumors to get rid of me. We don't need evidence against a coward who runs from his own people. Have you ever considered Paris and its citizens to be your enemies? Absolutely not. I ask that you explain the question. How can you deny it if you do not understand the question? Your army surrounded Paris. Is that not what you do to your enemies? My soldiers were there only to ensure public order while the National Assembly was in session. Adequate forces were already present in Paris. Was that not enough? Yeah, that's increased this. The people are irritated now. So we kind of have to balance maybe our questions. We can't just push for one solution, or the jury, or excuse me, the audience may revolt if they get too high. Who is responsible for the delivery of that fake passport? Delivery of the passport of the man called Pinet. My butler. I ordered him to prepare all the formalities regarding travel. The city hall has not received any submissions from your butler. I don't know what to say. Monsieur le juge, Louis Capet's butler was seen at the Austrian embassy. They surely took care of all the documents for the defectors. Monsieur Tinville, that is mere hearsay. Who said such a thing? Bring him here so he may repeat it. There is no need. That is hard evidence, especially in light of what the accused has told us. Alright, we've moved to imprison territory. Who helped you suppress the revolution? Who helped you suppress the revolution? Frederick William II, Francis II, Catherine II, or maybe your relative Charles IV? Justice awaits them as well. Nonsense, all of it. My only desire to take my family out of Paris was to take my family out of Paris, as I did not wish for them to suffer house arrest. We all know the European monarchs despise our ideals of freedom, equality, and brotherhood. Am I to understand that you tried to prepare a joint military intervention? I deny any such accusations. There is no evidence of such outrageous claims. I would never turn against my beloved France. Liar! He'd sell his own mother, never mind his country. We're getting there. We're almost... But we don't have any more execution points. We have to start bringing in witnesses because we don't have enough to get to execution. Right now, we only have the prison, and that's probably going to end very poorly for us. Let's call in the witness. Please introduce yourself. Jean Duret, postmaster of Saint-Ménehould, Monsieur le Juge. Did the accused, Louis... There's only one question. Did the accused introduce himself to the witness with his full name? No, he didn't introduce himself at all. He only produced someone else's documents. So he tried to hide his identity? You could say so. I used the name from the documents. After he showed them to me, he never objected. How did you learn of his true identity? By the image of on the paper, assignation? Like, what do you mean? Like, by the image on the paper. Okay, sure. Then a messenger from General Lafayette confirmed my suspicions. I ran as fast as I could to Varennes to inform the authorities. Oh, we're at murder time now. Did the accused tell anyone the destination of his journey? Or was the accused acting like a defector? Was he nervous or in a hurry? No, the king, Capet, was in no hurry. He even found the time to jest. What about the Capets? That I do not know. Only the king would leave the carriage. Capet. Judging by his clothes, I thought he was merely a townsman. That's probably going to lower things. Would the accused like to comment on this testimony? I do not see anything wrong with traveling in modest, comfortable clothing. It is even advisable for practical reasons. It would be advisable during an escape, especially if the monarch were trying to sneak away. Oh, there, we bumped up to execution time. Well, at this point, I don't think we need to, I don't think we want to ask any more questions. I'm being a terrible judge right now. Honestly, a very terrible judge, but I'm trying to save my own bacon. The people are aggressive. I think we have to call it here, and I'm sorry, former king. We cannot answer any questions. We just have to, oh, excuse me, we have to do the verdict here, yep. The verdict is the death penalty. That gives people... If we send them to prison, they would still like us, though. That's interesting. Hold on, wait a minute. They would still like us a little? But they wouldn't like us enough. I think we're already... I'm sorry, but I kind of think we're in a hole. And, I think we're in too much of a hole to play these games about... Do we just send him to prison or not? If we acquitted him, we're toast. I feel bad about it. I honestly do. But for the sake of the game and continuing the game on, I think we have to do death penalty. I really think we have to do death penalty. My family's going to dislike it, but I think that's the only way we continue to play the game. Monsieur le Juge, the crowd in front of the building is enraged. There may soon be a massacre. A rumor has even spread about hidden evidence of Capet's treason. People have gone mad. What evidence? I will go to them. I will ask you to stay in your seats until I return. Didn't we just say we were going to execute the man?
People, what vexes you? Why are you so angry?
The king lied to us! That coward ran from us! He'll surely run from justice as well! We found proof of the king's treachery in his secret iron cabinet!
A secret iron cabinet, you say? Strategy building. Oh, it's a whole new portion of the game here. Before attempting persuasion, you may explore different approaches to all the topics of the conversation. After employing every kind of emotion, you will receive an evaluation of your choices. Okay, I don't really understand. Let's see. Before attempting persuasion, you may explore different approaches to all the topics of the conversation after employing every kind of emotion. Alright. Character's attitude. Each attitude comes with a set of emotions that can have a positive and negative impact. Learn their effects to manipulate the people of Paris in a way you please. The higher your reputation, the more you know about the others, and the more you know about the speaker's attitudes. Well, I had it right the first time. The higher your reputation, the more you know about the other speaker's attitudes. You can also obtain the information by spending influence points. Alright, so click to discover your enemy's attitude against this subject. I don't know how many... Oh, I have 1 influence point. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's reveal an attitude, and we know they hate him. Citizen Capet should not escape justice. Believe in me. The evidence from the Iron Cabinet will be examined. Well, let's see. We can choose our approach before we commence. Carelessness. Humility. Aggression. Manipulation. So there's no indication of what this will do. Let's reveal this one here. I don't know. Withdrawn. What does that mean? The attitude of the crowd is withdrawn? I need more feedback, game. I need you to tell me exactly what all this stuff means. Citizen Capet will not escape justice. We'll say that aggressively. The evidence from the Iron Cabinet will be examined. Let's say that aggressively. Believe in me. Humility. A perfect argument. A perfect argument, a strong argument, a perfect argument. Okay, so we can't undo once we've done. Is that right? We can't uncheck. Okay. Alright, so we can't min-max it. Commence the persuasion. Citizen Capet shall not escape justice.
The king has been imprisoned. He will not escape a second time. If he tries, I will kill him with my own bare hands.
Okay, so now we have to select again.
Any treachery committed against France will be punished with death. We shall examine new evidence, and if the rumors turn out to be true, I assure you that I shall behead this traitor myself.
And now we went humility.
I know that you might be angry, but you have chosen your representatives to protect you. Believe in me.
Now they're intrigued. Okay, so effects, reputation +2, influence +2, common folks endorsement +5. There you go. So the screen before, the first screen, we select how we're going to set it out. And that tells me whether it's a good or bad plan. And then during that that timed section where you have to select it again, we have to remember and choose that choose the choices we chose the first time if they were good, or kind of adjust it on the fly if they didn't seem to be bad. Okay. Or if they seem to be bad. So yeah, let's go. It is true, evidence of the Capet's guilt has been found. Really? Would the defendant like to explain why he concealed his secure iron cabinet and the documents hidden within from the convention? I hid nothing from the convention. No one asked me about the existence of such things. Well, that's lying by omission, sir. You kept your correspondence well hidden under lock and key. It could only be retrieved by the assistance of a master locksmith. Any affluent Parisian has a lockable cabinet. I, for one, am keenly interested in locksmithing. There's all these extra case files. And we have to do a whole other trial now? Everyone wants him executed now. So this is a multi-parter. These are the things from his iron cabinet, I guess. Speech for the prosecution. by Antoine Quentin. Okay, so these are actually not from his cabinet. From Patriots, Citizen Capet, previously known as King Louis. Okay, so we've already read this, right? Yeah, we've read this one. This can go away. My lord, should any reason appear, shoot the rebels without hesitation, just as His Majesty should any reason appear, shoot the rebels without hesitation, just as His Majesty ordered. Have no mercy, for they shall have none either. So we probably saw that, or we probably could have seen that before. No, let's go back. Yeah, so this was what we saw the first time. This is, you've said to shoot rebels without mercy. The deputies of the so-called National Assembly are to be carefully questioned, and if any of them should display common sense and cease to support the Assembly, reward him with an extraordinarily high allowance and forward His Majesty's thanks. Okay, so now you're bribing people. We trust that with God's grace and help, His Majesty will soon arrive within the imperial borders for us to grant him, or His Majesty, as well as our beloved sister, safety, and to potentially take the steps necessary to re-establish the natural European order within the borders of France. His Imperial Majesty, the Holy Roman Emperor, King of Hungary, Bohemia, Croatia, Dalmatia, Slavonia, Galicia, Lodomeria, etc., Leopold the Second of Habsburg, AD 1791, blah, 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 blah. So the other kings were trying to support you. And your grace, soon we will come to your Majesty's rescue. However, for the time being, I implore your Majesty to muster local troops that remain loyal. I shall issue a warning to your Majesty's subjects that any and all who dare raise a hand against your Majesty would suffer the direst of consequences. My armies await my orders to curb the tide of anarchy in your Majesty's country from the Duke of Brunswick Lunenburg, Charles William Ferdinand. So it's looking pretty bad for you, my dude. Let's unlock the questions. We have two possible mistakes. Emperor, we have to select evidence, counter-revolution, method, course of events. From attempted escape, suppressing the revolution. Letter from the Duke is definitely evidence. Yep. Letter from the Emperor, that's definitely evidence. Minister's order. Minister's order. What is the minister's order? That's one of these. That's probably evidence. Unless that's in this question here. Yeah, that's in this question, maybe. I don't know. What is the minister's order? It looks like two guys at a table. Here. An order issued by Marshal de Broglie to Baron de Boussevol. Yeah, so that was shoot them if you have to. Minister's order, that's evidence. Attempted escape. That's suppressing the revolution is counter-revolutionary, of course. Minister's order might also be a method by which you suppress the revolution. And attempted escape is just the course of events. There you go. All questions unlocked. We need to push towards execution, but we also have to understand that people are pretty irritated. You were aware of the plans of the Emperor and the Duke of Brunswick. Why did you not? Was the accused responsible for the attempts to bribe? Did the accused intend to lead the Emperor's forces to France? Why would the Emperor mention shortly before the journey that he expected to see you? Would you call Minister Jean-Marie Roland a loyal servant? Was the Swiss Guard going to help during the Duke's attack on Paris? So, was the accused responsible for the attempts to bribe the assembly in order to abolish it? I did not sign that document, sir, but it was found in a cache belonging to the accused. It speaks of thanks from the king. My intention was to put Minister Roland on trial for abusing his power. I kept the documents for that occasion. A trial that has not happened for 3 years now. A trial that needs to happen. Roland will confess to the guillotine. That is the fault of the Minister of Justice. I ordered him to carry out the investigation and to punish the Minister of Internal Affairs. Okay, how does that change things? Not by much, huh? I wish this was like... I hate that this, like, overlaps this. They could put this, like, somewhere else. Maybe, like, here. I don't know. Maybe down here. Maybe over to the side, perhaps. Maybe over here would be better. Did the accused intend to lead the Emperor's forces to France, or you were aware of the plans of the Emperor and the Duke of Brunswick? Why did you not warn the National Assembly and the army? You didn't answer. You need to speak up. I did not deem their threat serious. That reeks of treason. Allow me to quote, my armies await my orders. Does that not sound like a serious threat? Prince Charles is impetuous, but I never once thought he would dare attack France. Alright, where people are aggressive and the... Yep. I mean, I don't think I want to press the case anymore, because what if the people start to riot and burn down the courthouse? So I think now you just... Oh, you do have some answers. Subject was not mentioned there. Okay, so we do need to know the answer to this. Was his act counter-revolutionary in nature? Yes. Why did Citizen Capet not warn this National Assembly? He did not consider the threat to be serious. He claims to have been issued the warning, but was ignored. He forgot. The Duke of Brunswick. He did not consider the threat to be serious. Why did the Emperor Leopold II write him letters? There's no mention of Leopold II. Well, there is. Then why would the Emperor mention shortly before the journey? Emperor Leopold II? Emperor Leopold II. And that was the question, right? Why did Emperor Leopold II write you letters? Did the accused intend to lead the Emperor's forces to France? Why would the Emperor mention shortly before the journey that he expected to see you? To see the accused and the family within his borders. Mere coincidence. The Emperor simply feared for the life of his sister. It is no secret that the European monarchs have a warped view of the revolution. They see it as a weapon against monarchy. Was the presence of forces in Montmedy intended to escort the accused to Austria also a mere coincidence? I swear it had nothing to do with that. Okay, we are dangerously close to the courthouse being absolutely just destroyed. So, he was afraid for the life of innocent citizens. He was afraid for the life of his sister, Marie Antoinette. He was afraid of his life of his friend. No, it was the sister. You know what? That's, if that's true, that's, I guess I just, that's either my fault for not knowing. That's either the fault of my education that I had. But I know the stories about Marie Antoinette and let them eat cake, and that she was this, French aristocrat. But honestly, I did not know that she was the sister of the emperor. The emperor of the Holy Roman Emperor. I guess I just didn't know like much about Marie Antoinette other than that, let them eat cake thing. So I'm going to sign the report. And I think we're done before the courthouse gets completely destroyed. Verdict form. Let's see what happens to the different. If we acquit him, we're dead. If we send him to prison, we're dead. If we do the death penalty, we're back in the blue. So here we go. I'm sorry, King. I wanted to believe you, but it just doesn't look good for you. I sentence Citizen Capet to death by guillotine. Take the convict away. Long live the people. Down with the tyrant. We got 3 of 3. Woo! Oh, the prosecutor has signed your report. So can we... This is locked out because he signed it. Can we forge this later? Can we put his own seal on here to pretend like he did it? That's interesting. Reputation +1, influence +1, because we unlocked all the questions. Or that's because we did the report. Reputation +6. Perhaps. Okay. We're beloved by the people, apparently, now. Common folk +13, revolutionaries +10, reputation +7, influence +1, and that's the end. Goodbye, former king. Nice knowing you. See you later. Good day, sir.
Do they understand? Their excitement was stronger than the smell of the fresh wood the guillotine was made from. Do they know what's about to happen? Sheep that only now realize they used to have fangs and claws. One thought guides their clenched fists. To bow before the new, uncompromising idol with his shining steel crown. I too have felt their eyes on me, just like him.
Exactly, exactly. We've done what they wanted because they were going to murder us.
In this ritual of new faith. A random acolyte, scared, doubtful. Will not the old gods seek vengeance for this treachery? He abandoned them all too easily. I was unable to understand their screams. I only tasted the stench of their sweaty bodies.
Sweaty bodies.
But I could hear one thing perfectly. Bring us the king.
Bring him. Bring the citizen. No longer the king. You guys think you could, you could maybe, like, wash the thing? This is gonna rust. Like, no doubt, this blade is gonna rust if you leave that blood on there like that. Maybe I could win the heart of the crowd. Why would you want to? Earn the favor of the crowd by delivering a speech or proceed directly to the execution. Speech. Remember, once you start your speech, there's no going back. An awkward or clumsy speech will earn you nothing but the ridicule from the audience. Depending on your reputation, the crowd will be more or less aggressive. So we could just skip the speech and go right to it. Or we could give them a speech. And I think we need to give them a speech to kind of bolster our stuff. We have many influence points. They are overly sensitive. What does overly sensitive mean? Let's reveal some attitudes. We have the influence points. We can spend them. Withdrawn. Withdrawn. Okay, so the topic is crime. The defendant, they are overly sensitive towards the defendant. Revolution. I don't know these approaches very well. Maybe we should not have done a speech. Okay. Towards the crime, we should speak with aggression. Towards the defendants, we should use manipulation. And for the revolution, we should speak of humility. That's probably bad. A weak argument. A perfect argument. A perfect argument. Alright, so we should go aggression, manipulation, aggression. Commence the persuasion. Aggression, manipulation, aggression. Disorder shall be suppressed with the brutal strength of our truth. No turning back now. Yay, everyone likes that. Manipulation. These offenders want to go back to the old ways. They defend him. Yay, everyone's satisfied. And now aggression. You have gained power in France. Now spill the blood of those who oppose the Republic. Oh yeah, everyone loves us now. Reputation +4. I die as an innocent man. I forgive my enemies. Well, you know what? That's a good thing. It's a good thing to have forgiveness. Because we are not going to have forgiveness against you. Pull the rope. as we drag the blade up to see the viscera and the people's responses. My kids aren't here today. I must be dreaming. Is that the map from the Mueller case? You stole evidence from the court? What is the locksmith's thing have to do with it? I did not steal it. I only found a use for it. It will be more useful in your room than in the dusty drawers of the court archives. After all, this is a map by Turgot and should be treated with respect. What a lovely explanation. Consider it a gift. Now take it and try not to talk so much. You should be more concerned about the evidence with the king, because this whole situation just seems peculiar. As your superior, I should be the one judging Louis' case. I fail to understand why Robespierre asked for your assistance. You are jealous? Of course I'm jealous. It is an important moment in history, and people will be reading about it for decades to come. It seems there will be trouble. I have a feeling that someone is toying with my life, as though an unknown force were pushing me into utter chaos. Keep your eyes open. You came to the political world of the city from out of nowhere, and that means someone will have to step down to make room. Do you have to sound so defeated? My husband is a renowned person now. We should be happy about it. It is easier to shoot someone in the spotlight. All right. Everyone likes it a little bit because I executed the king. You have to choose. We need our father to like us a little more. That doesn't do it. That does it. Well, it ups him, but seems like it hurts these two. Evening with grandfather. It hurts everybody. Well, it hurts our sons. So we can do paragraphs and codes, or evening with grandfather. Bernard's musical interest notwithstanding, he needs to learn some more perspective skills, and law can be an art of its own. That would help out Aldric. It seems like maybe not have an influence on Frederic, and it would damage my other son and my wife. Evening with grandfather damages this son, but that's okay because he's at max. Damages this son, it's not so great. And it doesn't hurt Matilda. So I think we're doing evening with grandfather. Sit down with your father and listen to stories of days gone by. That increases. That decreases. Not much though. That also decreases. And somehow those other two are chained together. Sure, whatever. Act 1, Liberté, Day 7. The people shrugged the invisible burden off their backs. The streets seemed more peaceful. Even the windows at the courthouse were soon replaced. Alright, and we instantly go to a next trial, but we are going to go ahead and end the episode here before this trial really gets started. We'll check on a few more things just for a second, though. Dear Citizen Fidel, I'm writing to congratulate you on becoming a part of this country's history. Citizen Capet's trial is on everyone's lips. I would also like to discuss the important topic of appointing the new Commander-in-Chief of the National Guard who will replace Citizen Burrell. It is my honest belief that I am the best candidate. Should you give me your permission, I would like to pay you a visit this evening. From Francois Henriot. Okay. And this is an interesting one. We have a dichotomy here. Common folk who want whoever this guy is killed. The revolutionaries want him acquitted. I just wanted to check my my notebook real quick to see what my relations are okay with everyone across the board. This is going to go away soon, so this is probably the last day that this happens. Alright, so we'll find out more about whoever this is in the next episode. But this episode was was pretty decent. It was a lot happened. I mean, we kind of had to save our own bacon, but it really seems like maybe the king was guilty, even though there was some evidence to, you know, both ways. But I think more lean towards guilty, even though we went guilty and went for execution just to save our own bacon. It seems like that was probably the right answer. But thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again next time.